Agricultural damage due to the oil spill in Oriental Mindoro and nearby areas climbed to nearly 4 million pesos. One complaint against embattled Negros Oriental Solon Arnie Teves has been dropped due to lack of evidence. And industry projections indicate a rollback in the prices of petroleum products next week. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin the newscast with the government's assessment on the impact of the Oriental Mindoro oil spill. The NDRRMC reported that over 147,000 individuals in Mimaropa and the Western Visayas have been affected, with some 196 persons injured. The oil spill has also affected the livelihood of around 13,600 agricultural workers, rendering 3.8 million peso damage. So far, over 47 million pesos in assistance have been provided by the government, including medicines, drinking water, and food packs. RDC, Real Marine Services, the owner of sunken MT Princess Empress, has vowed to work closely with the government in oil spill response. The Justice Department has junked one case against a Negros Oriental Representative Arnie Teves. DOJ spokesperson Miko Clavano said the illegal possession of firearms, ammunition, and explosives complaint was dismissed due to lack of evidence. Clavano clarified, however, that Teves is still facing multiple cases over loose firearms. Last week, authorities conducted raids in some of Teves' properties where firearms were seized and several people were arrested. But Clavano noted the firearms recovered during the operations were not licensed to Teves. Teves is being tagged in the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Ruel Degamo, as well as a string of murders back in 2019.
It was dismissed only as to Congressman Teves, resolution dated March 14, 2023. Pero po, there was a finding of probable cause as against Respondent Roland A. Pablio for violation of RA 10591. So, makikita po natin dito sa kaso na to, no, na there were firearms found, no? Pero yung firearms po na yun ay dating nakalisensya under Roland A. Pablio. And there is no such thing as conspiracy to commit illegal possession of firearms. Dahil klaro po nasa pangalan po nung isa, nag-expire or revoke. So hindi mo rin pwedeng ituro yung ibang tao doon sa kaso na yun.
NAMFREL reports a high voter turnout in the first few hours of the plebiscite in Marawi City. The poll watchdog said majority of registered voters in some of the polling places had already voted as early as 9 in the morning. It explained that the high turnout could be attributed to people's eagerness to vote. NAMFREL also reported that the conduct of the plebiscite has been generally peaceful. The voting, which ended earlier at 3 p.m., will decide on the creation of 2 new villages in the city. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Motorists can expect a rollback in the prices of petroleum products next week. UNIO projects that the prices of diesel would go down by up to 1 peso and 80 centavos per liter. Prices of gasoline are likewise expected to be slashed by as much as 1 peso and 30 centavos a liter. The Energy Department earlier said that the rollback is caused by the slow movement of fuel prices in the market. The International Criminal Court has issued an arrest warrant against Russian President Vladimir Putin over alleged war crimes. The ICC cited cases of alleged unlawful deportation of children and the unlawful transfer of people from Ukraine to Russia. The court was expected to issue warrants earlier this week, the first in its investigation into the Ukraine conflict. Moscow has repeatedly denied accusations that its forces have committed atrocities during its one-year invasion of Ukraine. Thousands of pregnant Russian women and their partners have been migrating to Argentina since President Vladimir Putin ordered the invasion of Ukraine. Let's find out why in this report.
We lost all that we could call our home in very fast time, and Argentina was so kind to us.
Alla Prigolovkina and her husband Andrei Ushakov arrived in Argentina in July last year. They're from Russia but decided to leave their country because of the war in Ukraine. Now they have a son, Lev Andres, who was granted Argentine citizenship at birth.
I'm afraid that he can die on this war and I will grow our baby alone.
They're hardly alone. More than 22,000 Russians have entered Argentina since the start of last year. Among them, over 5,000 were pregnant women. Argentina doesn't require visas for Russian tourists, and it automatically grants birthright citizenship to children born in the country. Having an Argentine child also speeds up the process for the parents to obtain residency and, after a couple of years, their own passports. This is an attractive prospect. An Argentine passport gives its holder access to 170 countries. Most Russians arriving in Argentina are well-off professionals, like Maxim Levoshin, who moved to the country with his pregnant wife in December.
I have a special education, like a mathematical and programmer. The government can use my skills for the war, and I do not want to participate in this process.
Argentine immigration officials are worried that some Russians are coming into the country to get citizenship for their children before moving somewhere else. About 60% of Russians who arrived in the country in the last year have already left. But others, like Prigolovkina and Ushakov, are planning to make Argentina their new home.
I hope he will be real Argentinian, not like, to take passport and go somewhere around, no.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us again tomorrow as we monitor the day's biggest stories. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.